Welcome to Acumen Business Spotlight. I'm Mike Colosimo, and I'm pleased to be joined by Al Coleman, Minnesota mortgage specialist with Mortgages Unlimited, a very reputable company in the Twin Cities and have been around for a long time. And we're here to talk about some mortgages today.
We are.
Al, how are you?
Fantastic. And yourself?
I'm good, thanks.
Good.
Talk to us about some of the interest rates. They're at an all-time low.
It is. It's an incredible time in the mortgage business. I've been in the business for over 15 years and have never seen rates this low. It is absolutely incredible. All the different terms, 30-year, 20-year, 15-year, 10-year, they're all incredibly low. It's unbelievable right now.
Great. Now, who should be looking right now for some, maybe a refi or?
You know, here's the deal is, you know, everyone's situation is different. And honestly, if you haven't talked to a mortgage professional probably in the last year, it's probably worth checking into. A lot of people, you know, are doing a couple different things. One is they might be going from a 30-year to another 30-year, lowering their interest rate, lowering their payment really quite a bit, enough to make it worthwhile. Another scenario is people are going maybe from a 30-year to a 20-year or 20 down to a 15-year. Again, lowering their interest rate really enough to make it worth it, chopping off a ton of interest, keeping their payment almost the same. So it's really the scenarios are, again, they're case by case, but they're working out for most people these days.
Terrific. Are there some specific new products that can help consumers right now?
There is. There's actually a couple that are fantastic. If I can use the example, let's say you've got a current mortgage that you know you do not have mortgage insurance. You're under 80%. You've got probably a pretty good rate on it, but would like to take advantage of today's rates, but maybe concerned that you don't have the equity there. So there's actually a couple programs where, let's say you have an appraisal done and you're above that 80% mark. Usually you'd have to have mortgage insurance if you qualify for these programs. No mortgage insurance is required. So you can be, let's say, at 90% loan to value, still take advantage of today's wonderful rates without the mortgage insurance. So again, you have to qualify for this program, but most people are.
I would imagine it's a fairly popular package right now.
It is. It's wonderful. Most people don't realize it's out there. They're afraid that they're not going to have the equity to qualify for this, but again, you don't have to have that equity. Again, if you qualify.
Terrific. Real quickly, we have some new packages for first-time home buyers.
Well, here's the deal. Right now for first-time home buyers, or even any buyer actually, FHA is still probably our most popular program. It requires very little down. Sellers can pay the closing costs, or up to 3% of the closing costs. The down payment money can be gifted from family or some other sources, so the terms are fantastic for FHA right now. And again, FHA rates all-time low. I mean, you can buy a fantastic property at a great rate and be in a really wonderful situation. Wow,
great. Thank you so much for your time, Al. And if you'd like to talk with Al further about these outstanding programs and packages, you can contact Al at 763-416-2649. When we come back, we'll be visiting with the folks from Mundahl and Wagner, attorneys at law. Welcome back to Acumen Business Spotlight. I'm pleased to be joined by Cathy Wagner and Susan Mundahl of Mundahl and Wagner Law, located in Rogers, conveniently off of 94 for all communities to easily access. Ladies, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Mike.
Let's talk a little bit about Mundahl and Wagner.
I'm Cathy Wagner, and I have in excess of 30 years of experience in the legal industry, 16 as a licensed attorney, and 15 plus years before that as a legal secretary and as a paralegal. Susan joined me about a year ago in July.
Yeah, and I came to the firm with 22 years in practicing law, mostly in the areas of family law. I started out my career back for 10 years as an assistant county attorney handling child protection matters. Terrific. And now for the last 10 years doing exclusively family law.
Great. Now let's talk initially about probate and estate planning. There's some misconceptions out there in regards to probate and estate planning. Can you talk a little bit about that?
There are. Probably the first misconception is that people think they don't have an estate. If you have a bank account or a car, you have an estate. Another common misconception is that a will avoids probate. A will does not avoid probate. What a will does is permit you to have more control over how your estate will be handled and how your assets will be distributed.
Now let's talk about your area of expertise, which is family law. What's your approach to family law?
Well, first, I like to meet individually with my clients and really listen to what they say. Then I try and give them an honest analysis of their case, but always my focus is on the children, making sure that children have time with both parents. I believe children are not a prize to be won, and so I always try and work on really good parenting plans that help grow with the child through their years.
Let's talk about your approach and philosophy to law.
Mike, we focus exclusively on family issues, those things that impact families on a daily basis. We're committed to taking time with each client to explore their unique individual needs, their values, their goals, and assist them with attaining their goals in a practical and personal way.
I just want to add that we also have an excellent staff working with us. We have an associate, Becky Martin, who has 6 years experience working as an attorney in the area of family law and related areas. And then we also have 3 other staff experienced paralegals who are working with us to meet the needs of our clients.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, ladies. If you'd like more information on how to get a hold of Mundahl and Wagner, you can visit them on the web at www.mundahlandwagnerlaw.com, or you can contact them at 763-425-6330. When we come back, we're going to be talking to the Buff and Coat people. Welcome back to Acumen Business Spotlight. I'm pleased to be joined by Sarah Cassidy, franchise owner of Buff and Coat Hardwood Floor Renewal. Sarah, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us about Buff and Coat.
Buff and Coat is a dustless, odorless, done in one day hardwood floor renewal process. Basically, we come in and we take off that top coat of finish that's on the floor to knock out the surface scuffs and scratches, and then we put down a new coat of water-based polyurethane that dries in about 2 hours. So you can leave for work in the morning and we'll come in and do the work, and by the time you get home from work, you're able to walk on your floor again.
So a one-day process.
One-day process.
Great. Now, why would a person choose Buff and Coat?
Buff and Coat is basically a preventative measure against having to do the complete resand. So you're calling us because you want to maintain your floor. You want to keep that, scratch-free surface. It's a preventative measure so that you don't have to have gray areas and things like that.
What are some of the benefits to hardwood floor renewal?
Extending the longevity of the hardwood floor so you don't have to go through that resand process. We are full service. We do offer insulation and sanding as well. But this is what you'd want to do if you've been in your home for about 4 or 5 years and you can see it start, a little bit of wear and tear. This is what you want to do to prevent it from getting any further.
Mm-hmm. And I understand you'll work anywhere in the Twin City area?
We're all over Minnesota and into Wisconsin.
Great. Now, I understand also that you will provide a no obligation consultation.
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
All estimates are free. We come out, we measure the floor, we talk to you and ask you specifically what you're looking for, and then based on what you're looking for, we recommend either the Buff and Coat or a resand.
Great. Now, if there are just certain spots on the floor, do you have to redo the entire floor, or do you?
We recommend still buffing and coating the whole floor, but we are able to do spot repairs. And a lot of times those will show up underneath bar stools that are, in front of kitchen counters or in the entryway, things like that. We're able to spot repair those and then buff and coat the rest of the floor so that you don't see a difference.
And how do you determine that? Do you walk in and say, all right, that area is pretty bad?
It does depend on how many areas there are and how big they are, because you don't want to be on your hands and knees, for too many hours doing that when you could resand it.
Great. Now, as a franchise owner, how long have you been with Buff and Coat?
I've owned my franchise for 2 years.
Wow, okay, great. Well, I can't thank you enough for joining us today. I think everybody is going to be much more educated in regards to how to renew a hardwood floor, and they should contact you. If you'd like more information about Buff and Coat, you can contact Sarah at www.buffandcoat.com or call her at 612-730-2188. Thanks for joining us on Acumen Business Spotlight. We'll see you again soon.